Did y'all watch the Oscars last night? Tell me what your biggest surprises were if you did, because there were some. There were two things that stuck out to me. But tonight we'll talk about one of them. The other one I'm going to talk about with Van tomorrow night. Anyway, let me get this straight. A film about real-life Palestinian and Israeli activists fighting home demolitions just won an Oscar for Best Documentary. And Israel's culture minister is mad about that. That's mad, big mad about it. Miki Zohar, one of Netanyahu's top men, called the film, which by the way is called No Other Land. Check out No Other Land if you can. A quote, sad moment for cinema, and quote, straight up sabotage against Israel's image. If you don't know, this film, No Other Land, which won the Oscar last night for Best Documentary Film, exposes what exactly is happening in the West Bank. And they are not happy about it. Now, there's a few thoughts to be had about this film. First, let's talk about the fact that the film is not able to be watched easily. Many of you here in the United States can't watch it at all. It's not on Apple TV. They took it down. It's on Amazon, but it's not on Amazon in the United States. It's only on Amazon in London. There are other outlets that have links, but when you click the links, you can't get it. There's no distributor. There's no site. This film, which again won the best film, and mind you, it didn't get the best documentary film award in some obscure shocker or some artsy kind of sequestered way where like a few people with their pinkies up decided this was a good film. No, this grossed the most of the docs. Like this, lots of people watched it. Lots of people liked it, just not in America and just not in some other parts of the world as well. So this film did really well around the world, has done zero here in the United States. Israel is pretending that it doesn't exist, except when they say that it's the worst thing that ever happened to Israel. This film had to climb a lot of mountains to be successful. It had to climb a lot of mountains to be victorious. But it did so. And Israel is pretty much showing its hand once again. They said, and I'm thinking about Miki Zohar, one of Netanyahu's top guys, the culture minister, who even admitted that Israel changed its film funding policies just to stop movies like this from getting made. They literally won't let this happen again. Meanwhile, Palestinians in the film are saying that this is a huge morale boost for the struggle. And Israeli filmmakers are calling Zohar's comments shameful and a threat to free speech. So even now we're talking about the liberal Zionists. Even they're like, look, yeah, we're trash in all these ways, but come on, let the guy talk. Anyway, the director gave a speech at the Oscars. Both the directors gave speeches, and I think it's worth listening to. Check this out. We'll talk about it on the other side. This is interesting. This is the acceptance speech from No Other Land.
Other Land.
This is the first Oscar and nomination for Bassel Adra, Rachel Shore, Hamdan Bilal, and Yuval Abraham.
Thank you to the Academy for the award. It's such a big honor for the four of us and everybody supported us for this documentary. About 2 months ago, I became a father, and my hope to my daughter that she will not have to live the same life I'm living now, always fearing settlers' violence, home demolitions, and forest spill displacements that my community, Masafri Yatta, is living and facing every day under the Israeli occupation. No other land reflect the harsh reality that we have been enduring for decades and still persist as we call on the world to take serious actions to stop the injustice and to stop the ethnic cleansing of Palestinian people.
We made this film, Palestinians and Israelis, because together our voices are stronger. We see each other. The atrocious destruction of Gaza and its people, which must end. The Israeli hostages brutally taken in the crime of October 7th, which must be freed. When I look at Bassel, I see my brother, but we are unequal. We live in a regime where I am free under civilian law, and Bassel is under military laws that destroy his life and he cannot control. There is a different path, a political solution without ethnic supremacy, with national rights for both of our people. And I have to say, as I am here, the foreign policy in this country is helping to block this path. And, you know, why? Can't you see that we are intertwined? That my people can be truly safe if Bassel's people are truly free and safe. There is another way. It's not too late for life, for the living. There is no other way. Thank you. Rachel Shore, Hamdan Balai, Sigal Yehuda, Close Up Initiative, Annie Fabini, thank you.
That is maybe one of the most politically provocative, progressive Oscar speeches we've ever seen. We've had other moments like this when we talked about the suffering of native populations, for example, but they're talking about the 1970s when that speech was given. And we're talking about a very, very, very long time since we've seen a speech like that. And it's not a perfect speech, right? We could pick it apart and do all that, but I don't want to do that because that's not what this is about. This is about saying very clearly, we got to do something different. And using the Oscar stage to do that is extraordinary. And making a film like this is extraordinary. And the fact that Israel is mad about it tells you probably did something right. So shout out to them for making this film. Shout out to everyone who's watched it. Shout out to the Academy for having the courage to promote it and honor this. Rose's ability said sort of what I'm feeling, right? Which is I've got issues with the Israeli director's speech, but that's incredible. Every time I've watched it, calling out the empire is powerful. And that's what I'm saying. We can always nitpick. It's not even nitpick. We can have a principal critique, and I think there's space and time for that. And as Chef Shaya said, there are many people online today picking apart Yavel's speech. True. And deservedly so. And Hasna said that both sides of this course is a bit too old. Agreed. You know, all true. But at the end of the day, while we should have those critiques, I don't think we shouldn't have those critiques. We also have an opportunity to watch and support this film, which puts a spotlight on what's happening in the West Bank, which is home demolitions, which is settler violence, which is gross transgressions of international law. All of this stuff is necessarily placed in a spotlight in the film, and that spotlight is urgent. That spotlight is urgently needed. So I'm excited to see this, and hopefully people can watch this film and share this film and support this film as much as possible. And there's lots of other great docs that do this as well, but this is the one that we have right now. So again, No Other Land, check it out. And as Israel sees it as sabotage against Israel's image, you can say, yeah, you're right. I won't use the word sabotage, but I'll certainly say destructive. You know, what does sabotage actually mean? Maybe it is sabotage. I mean, you know, I think of sabotage as something like almost unmerited, but no, sabotage is a deliberate action aimed at weakening a polity, government, effort, organization through subversion, destruction, demoralization, destabilization, division, disruption. Yeah, absolutely. It's sabotaging Israel's image. But the point here is that Israel's image should be sabotaged. It should be destroyed. Why? Because Israel's image is an unearned one, just like the United States' image is an unearned one, and New Zealand, and Australia, and France, and Germany. We go down the list. Israel is not the only one, but Israel's not exceptional. All of these nations that promote freedom and democracy, while minority populations are not free or equal, all these nations that act as if they were created out of the democratic mind of God, when in fact they are settler colonial projects, they all need to be exposed. We got to expose the United States. We got to expose Israel. We got to expose Canada. We got to expose Australia. Let's do it. let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, Israel, you're right. This is messing up your image. But guess what? It's not a sad moment for cinema. It's an exciting moment of possibility that we haven't seen